Hi there, I'm Jason Hayes, and welcome to today's video where we're taking a look at what's new in Trimble Perspective version 2025.2. Now there's a lot to be excited about with this release. First off, it coincides with the release of the new Trimble T10 Tablet. It's got a beautiful 10-inch display. It's using the Intel Core Ultra 7 processor. It's got 32 gigabytes of DDR RAM and a whopping 1 terabyte SSD for storage. And not just any SSD, this is the fast NVMe SSD. It's also got this crazy IP65 environmental protection rating. And if you look at the back of the tablet, just right there, you'll see that it's got support for an Empower module. What this means is that if you're using the tablet in combination with your robotic total station, you're really going to love this capability. Now, in addition, it also has a slot for a SIM card. What does this mean to you? If you imagine you're out in the field, you're scanning, you need to get this data back to the office quickly, or someplace even more remote, you can use your cellular plan to quickly upload this data to Trimble Connect. There, people can rotate around the point cloud, take measurements, even compare it to models that you maybe have in Trimble Connect. What this connectivity means is access to your data. Now let's take a look at a few of the things specific to Trimble Perspective that I think you're really going to like. So first off is what I would consider a quality of life improvement. In the past, if you had annotations or precision points and you hid the station that they were associated with, they disappeared. However, in the new version, in the settings, we have the ability to go and make them persistent. So we just go to the settings, and then in the settings, we go to the General tab, and then there's an option that says Show Points of Hidden Stations. If you turn that on, now when you go and hide a station, the annotations and precision points that were made from that station will stay on the general screen. Now, this next thing I want to show you is a new module for Trimble Perspective. It's called the Inspection module. Now, if you're doing any kind of floor analysis, maybe cut fill, doing wet pour, concrete analysis, you're going to love this module. It's going to add even more value to your X9 system. Let me take a few minutes and show you how this works. Okay, so when you have the inspection module licensed, you'll see the inspection tool over here on the right. First thing that we need to do is click Create New, because you can have multiple inspections. We'll just give it a name. We're going to call this Zone 1. And once we name this, then we're going to go in and take a look at some of our different settings. So we just go up to the top, click on the gear icon. Then we decide if we want our grid points to be displayed as cut fill or elevations. Then we can have the grid points on or off, the labels on or off. We can also decide if we want to have the legend displayed and if we want the automatic floor extraction. Now this is some of our AI. I recommend you leave it turned on to extract that floor. And then the next thing is you'll want to set the height for your limit box. The limit box is going to determine what's included in the inspection. So you can see up there, there's a really tall height. And then when you make it smaller, you just see the area around the floor. So we're going to set a small value here for that limit box. Then we just need to click on the back button. Now the next thing that you'll want to do is select a reference elevation. Now I usually like to go into the station view because I can get a good clear view. Now I didn't do this scan, so I don't know the best place, so I'm just going to click right here. Now, if the laser scanner was still turned on and connected, we could use the laser pointer to point at a reference point and then take a precision shot. Now, in addition, if you had a benchmark, maybe over here against the wall or something, you could take your shot there and then select an offset either above or below that reference. The next thing that we'll want to do is set our grid spacing. Now my project's set up in meters, so we'll just leave this at 25 centimeters. Normally it's probably going to be something bigger, around 3 to 5 feet, but for now that's okay. Then we need to go and set our tolerance. Now again, I set this at 3 millimeters, usually around 1/8 of an inch, so anything more than 3 millimeters above or below the reference surface will be out of tolerance. Then we need to go in and set our limit box. So this will determine the area that's going to be considered inside of the inspection. So I'm just using the grab handles to get this to isolate just what I want for this Zone 1 inspection. And again, I'm just doing the side to side. The height would have already set in those settings that we did earlier. Okay, so everything looks good. Now we just need to click on Generate. Okay, so this computes really fast. We can see now it's finished. We see the legend up here displayed. Now if we take a look at this in 3D, we'll just rotate around. You can see how thin that slice is of that limit box. That's that setting we set in the inspection tool settings. Now if we zoom back out, we can see some red areas, some blue areas. Of course, the red you see up here in the legend, those are the high areas, the cut areas. And then the blue, of course, are going to be the fill. So if we zoom in and look at the blue area, and we'll click on a different one here, you can see that it is in fact a fill of 3.9 millimeters. Now if we zoom over here and look at some of the red, the cut areas, if we zoom in, you can see the labels displayed right there beside it. As we zoom out, they disappear because the screen would otherwise be cluttered. So then we just need to click on Save, and you can see it saved that inspection up here as Zone 1, and then we have a preview of our report. So in the report, we see just an overview image of the scans. If we scroll down, we see if the report is a pass, then we see our grid points, and then some information about the report and the tolerance values that we set. If we click Edit, we can go in and make some edits. So if we wanted to add a company logo, I'm just going to get rid of this. Then we can click here to go in and add one. You can see ChatGPT has helped us imagine an alternate universe with Jason Hayes inspections. We'll just select that PNG. You can see there's a lot of different image formats that are supported. Then we can add a name, title, company name, company website. If we scroll down, we can see the percentage of points that need to be within tolerance for this report to show a pass. And we can also add additional images. These could be images on the tablet that came from the T10 camera, or it could be other images that are on the tablet. Then we just click Save. So it very quickly goes in and just updates that report, and then it does a quick preview. So we can scroll through, see everything's there. We also see that we still have all of our updated information at the top, the company logo and information. We can just close that. We don't, it's already saved. Now we can always come into our inspection and look at the details. We could regenerate the report if we wanted to. We can always see the information that will be contained in the report. If we scroll up, we can also export out those grid points as a CSV file if you wanted to do any further analysis. So again, we can always close the report. I'm just going to close the limit box, and we can always come back and reopen that report and see all of our information, regenerate the report if we have to, and see all of our grid points. So very, very easy. So as you can see, there's some things to really be excited about with this release of Trimble Perspective version 2025.2. I hope you've enjoyed today's video, and as usual, I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Thanks for watching.